Alright guys, oops, sorry, didn't mean to bump the table. Alrighty guys, welcome back to a new video. Hope you guys are having a great week. It is the week before Christmas, so it's obviously an exciting time of year, and if you don't celebrate Christmas, happy holidays. If you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. So I've had multiple people from a couple of my older videos suggest that I make another one of these videos. So basically this is going to be a winter bass fishing video. Here in Florida it was 49 degrees this morning. As you can see, I'm outside, I'm in a shirt, so it's up in the higher 60s now, but for us that is winter, and a lot of you guys were asking for some tips, and a lot of you guys were asking for another one of these videos. So today what I'm going to be doing is going over some techniques and some of the baits that I like to do, or that I like to use during this time of year here in Florida, and I hope you guys really enjoy. If you don't want to hear me talk all about lures and all the technical stuff, no big deal, just go ahead and skip to this time right here, and we're going to get to fishing some ponds. But if you are, follow, subscribe, like the video, and we're going to get right into talking about hard baits and what you can do to catch some more fish, and what baits you can use to help you in your winter fishing endeavors. So first thing I want to do is talk about colors. So as you can see here, we got a red lipless crankbait, and this is a sexy shad color, but basically white hunchback jerkbait. So I like to throw either whites or reds or very natural colors in the winter. A lot of times these bass will get really lethargic and they won't be willing to chase down things as much. But you want something that's going to catch their eye, something that's going to be easy to get, or something that looks exactly what they want to eat, which is where like the natural colors come in. Similar to this is a baby bull shad, and this is the golden shiner color. And here in Florida, instead of like, I shouldn't say instead of, in a lot of these smaller lakes we don't have big shad, like a lot of places up north or even like South Florida have a lot of bigger like gizzard shad. We have a lot of golden shiners, which are, if you don't know what a golden shiner is, it's basically like a silver wild shiner, but they have this gold back, usually red fins, basically bass candy. So those are the three colors in hard baits that I like to throw. But if we want to talk about the type of baits to throw, let's start off with a jerk bait here. This is a small jerk bait. So you see it only has 2 hooks. I don't think it's like a 100 size or something like that. Very small little bill. I love throwing jerk baits in the winter. It's a classic winter lure. The key with a jerk bait in the winter, if the water is actually cold, is to give it time. You wanna fish this slow, which may sound weird because it's a jerk bait, but you want to give it those proper pauses in between. So you might do 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 1. And a lot of times what will happen is these fish that are lethargic will see it, they'll swim over to it, it's doing its thing, they'll think about it, and then you pause it, and it gives them that time to eat it. Or in the summer, they're just going to attack it. Or in the winter, where they're a little slower, they might not be as apt to eat it as aggressively. The other baits we have here, as I said, a lipless crankbait and a small swim bait. We'll talk about this. The key with a small swim bait, and also the key with the jerk bait, which I forgot to mention, is you want I wouldn't say high quality, but you want a really good suspending jerk bait and a slow sinking swim bait. It's really hard to find a affordable swim bait that is suspending. If you're in the bass world, some swim baits get hundreds of dollars, and you don't need to spend that much. The baby bull shad sinks very slowly, so you can swim it pretty slowly. You also have to keep it moving so it doesn't get down to the bottom and muck and whatnot. But that's the key, is to swim this nice and slowly. Just like the jerk bait, you want to give it the pauses that it needs. There's that. And then same with the jerk bait, like I said, give it the pauses. And you want it to suspend. You don't want a sinking jerkbait, and you definitely don't want a rising jerkbait, because when you give it those pauses, this bait is going to rise out of the money zone. Right? You want to keep this bait down there where the fish are going to see it. Last hard bait we're going to talk about. This is a rattle trap, a lipless crankbait, if you will. And the key with this lipless crankbait and the red color, I would say, is that it imitates a crawfish. And a lot of people believe that these fish are really eating crawfish this time of the year in the winter. So with this bait, the key is to bring it up, let it flutter down, bring it up, let it flutter down. Keep it in those money zones, keep it on those edges where those fish might be pushing off to deeper water, and this can be pretty effective in the right scenario. Now we're going to move on to hard baits, and we're really only going to talk about 2 hard baits that I fish. And honestly, these 2 baits I've caught more fish on than any other baits. Hard baits, soft baits, doesn't matter. We'll start off with my favorite, which is a trip worm. A lot of people don't like fishing slow. It's kind of a boring way, if you will, but this is super finessey. It's a small trick worm. You can put this on a drop shot if you want, but here in Florida, we don't do a lot of drop shot fishing as it's super grassy in most of these lakes and you get snagged with an open hook. But basically the key is you want to go slow. In the winter, these fish are lethargic and they're not going to come chasing these baits. You want to make a long parallel cast to the bank or a long parallel cast to structure, things that hold heat, concrete, wood. Dirty water holds heat way better than, or I should say it warms up way better than clear water. So if there's a dirty water edge and a clear water edge, usually cast the dirty water and there'll be fish there. The key with this is to work it really slow. Let it hit the water. You're going to be fishing this weightless if you want to catch the most amount of fish, in my opinion. You're just going to let it flutter. It's just going to do its thing. And you're going to bring it up, bring your rod tip up, reel down, let it flutter. And you're going to bring it, do that, give it time to rest at the bottom, and bring it back to you. And this is a very effective way of catching fish. I like this on a 3 to 4 wide gap worm hook. So you can see here, hopefully you can see that, I don't know. Hopefully that focuses. WG hook here. And the key with the wide gap is that when the fish bites it and you have it set up Texas rigged, this bait has lots of room to go down into the belly of the hook and see how exposed that hook is when you get the hook set. I find it's better with these, but these will get snagged, and if you don't like the wide gap hooks, you can also use an offset shank worm hook, which is kind of the classic hook to use with a weightless rig, and you'll set this up Texas rig just like that and fish it nice and slow. But also we're gonna look at, I don't have the right colors, these are 2 flukes here, otherwise known as a soft plastic jerkbait, as some people call them. Here we got a pretty little pink fluke, just because I ran out of my good colors. For colors of these, I really suggest watermelon red or watermelon seed, at least here in Florida. Just like this is a watermelon red. I do have watermelon seed of these as well. But a watermelon red fluke seems to be my go-to at all times, especially in the winter. It's natural, but it's got that little bit of flair if you got clear water, and it's pretty consistently gotten fish for me. And the key with this, just like the hard plastic jerkbait, is to swim it really slow. You want to cast it, long cast, let it sink, jerk, jerk, let it flutter, jerk, jerk, let it flutter, jerk, jerk, and fish it all the way back, just finessing it with these. And then same hooks for those as well. So basically, that's what we're going to be doing today. We'll be trying out a few of these, seeing if we can catch some fish. There's a pond here I can walk to. I don't have my keys to my truck at the moment, but I'm going to walk down to this pond and see if we can catch any fish, and if not, I'll continue picking up this video at another pond where I know we can catch some fish. So thank you guys if you stayed tuned to that. I appreciate it. If not, we'll see you guys fishing. Guys, we made it to the pond here. Got a tackle box with all our winter lures. We're gonna get tied up here. Just put some new line on the Stratic. So for these super light finesse type situations, I prefer a spinning rod. It's really up to preference, but this is a 7.6 medium St. Croix Premier and a 2500 size Stratic CI4, which they don't make anymore. Just great reel. Hey guys, here we go. We're gonna go ahead and start off with a watermelon red worm on a wide gap hook. It's a little windy actually, which is kind of surprising, but we're just gonna work this slowly back to us, see if we get any nibbles, aim at some target areas here, and see what we can catch. There. new pond here. Don't know if it's gonna be any better than the last one, but the last one was just too shallow. I don't think it really supports any fish. Although I could be wrong and it's just cold and they don't want to bite, but I'm fishing the right stuff, so. If this pond doesn't work out, ooh, I just saw a baby bass, 100%. Like, not big enough to eat this worm, but. Guys, I got one on the worm. Let's go. Woo! Hey, little guy. Small guy. I think he may have choked this one. Yeah, he got it down the gullet there. We're gonna have to help him out. But look at that. Nice little guy. Off he goes. Let's go. Had to get that guy back in quick. He was bleeding, so. I think I got the hook out really clean though, so I was happy about that. So let's see if we can catch another one. Alrighty guys, now that we caught one, I'm gonna go ahead and switch up to a fluke. I don't know about this color, but it's worth a try, so. Huh. So I could give it a few casts right here, look at that. Alrighty guys, so here's the thing with this spot that you guys just saw me fishing at is it's super far away where the hole is, and this lightweight stuff isn't sinking down. I got a cast so far, so I did bring some freaking massive like 8-inch worms, but I don't really want to use those. So all right, big giant worm, here we go. Check that thing out. Huge worm. No way, and it's a good one too. What the heck? Are you kidding me? I just fished this pond earlier and didn't catch anything. No way. On the freaking 8-inch worm. And it's like a 2.5 pounder. Alright, chill. Gotcha. He's a chunky fish. Look at that thing. Oh, I popped it. Wasn't even. Oh, he broke the barb on the hook. Look. I don't know if you guys can see that. The hook has no barb, no point. That's insane. Guys, look at this fish. What a beautiful bass. All right, we're gonna get him back in, get a good release on him. So I told you guys the winter doesn't always mean you don't catch anything. Here in Florida, you can still catch 2.5 pounders. Guys, check this out. That was on this 8-inch worm with a hook with a broken barb and no tip. I should not have landed that fish, but we're gonna go tie on a new hook and put a big worm back on and see if we can catch another one, because that seemed to work. Alrighty guys, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. I really appreciate you guys watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a like, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate that, and we're coming out with some more videos soon, so I hope you guys have been appreciating the last few, and I hope you guys got some good tips. If you didn't watch the beginning of this video, you just skipped to the fishing. If you ever want to go back and watch some tips and tricks and some lures on ways to fish winter fishing here in Florida, you guys can go check out the beginning of that video, and I will see you guys next time.